This is the newest model from Dualtron, and I'm pretty sure it's the lightest and smallest scooter that Dualtron makes. One thing that makes this unique is that you can get this in a single motor and then 3 different battery options. If you pick the smallest battery and the single motor, it will only cost you $999. This one has dual motors and has the largest battery option of 25 amp hours and costs just less than $1,400. To start the review off, I want to show you the lights, because this is one of the coolest looking scooters for night riding that I've seen. When you power this thing on, it looks pretty sweet. This is the first scooter that I've seen with LED lights on the throttle, which just looks awesome. You got a color LCD display. There's a headlight down in the front. And let me hit that, and there we go. You got LEDs down both sides of the stem. Then you have LEDs running down the deck on both sides. And then check out the tail light, which is just awesome. But you also got lights in the swing arms. That's the first I've seen that, which just, again, looks pretty awesome. You got turn signals. Back that up, you can kind of see. The turn signals don't turn off automatically, so you have to hit it again to turn them off. When you hit the brake lever, that's the same light that lights up for the turn signals, 2 in the back, 2 in the front. And so again, you just have a ton of visibility. This does come with an app, and so I want to dive into that and show you how you can modify these lights. Here's the home screen, and I like the way it looks. It's just a cool looking app. Down here you have light settings, and then you got a color wheel, so there's a ton of different options you can do. If you just hit anywhere on there, it'll change the lights. You can change the effect and the speed. Slow it down to 24%, and now it's a very gradual transition. About 12 different options, different effects that you can choose. Let's do breathing. Slow down the pace to make that look a little bit more breathy. There we go. The last thing you can do in the app as far as the lights is you can turn them off. So that just leaves the LED, it turns off the deck. As far as performance goes, there's an eco button. And when you hit that, that actually changes the speed and the acceleration power. Just crawling off the line on speed mode 3. That's topping out at 18 miles an hour. Eco's off, speed mode 3, off the line. Oh yeah, spinning the tires. 37, 38. Oh, and that is feeling pretty good at 38 miles an hour. That is nice and stable. You can turn the cruise on and off. That's the CCS button. There's no indication that the cruise is kicked on. You just have to hold it for about 7-8 seconds. And then to cancel the cruise, just tap the throttle or hit the brakes. Speaking of brakes, you got ABS braking. Yeah, it's very jerky and you can hear that noise. I mean, that's just your classic ABS braking for scooters. Every scooter I've tried with ABS brakes behaves exactly like that. So I don't like that feature very much. Next to that is the PAS. That switches the scooter from a 0 to a non-zero start. The last circle is the protection. So if you hit that, you can set a password. Diving in further, underneath the common functions more tab, and here's where you can really customize the performance. Starting effect. So here's where you can change the takeoff power. I'm on the highest speed mode, and I'm going to set it to level 0, 3, and 5 and show you the difference. Level 0 first, and this should be the most powerful. You got 2 or 3 feet of skid in the tire. This is level 3. Noticeably slower. No tire spin. That's about half the power. And now level 5. Oh, that is just crawling off the line. You can still top out around 37, 38 miles an hour. It just takes a long time to get there. Next is the ABS braking. I showed you that too on the home screen. And then below that, you have the EBS braking. So this is your electric brakes, and you have levels 0 to 5. At level 0, there's no electric brakes. And I'm gonna top the scooter out on speed mode 2. Took me, about 30 feet to stop. All right, this is level 3. About 5-6 feet shorter than on level 0. Now level 5. That time I got a foot shorter than on level 3. So not a ton of difference between the 3 levels. When hard braking like that, I can't feel them come on. But when set to level 5 and with light braking, I hit them, oh, you can feel them come on now. Really not the most comfortable for light braking. Next is the speed limit setting. So you hit that, you have a scroll bar. The lowest value is 5%. Let's play around with the speed limit setting. It's set to 100%. And I want to show you how fast each of the 3 speed modes can go at that level. Speed mode 1, that's topping out at 14 miles an hour. Speed 2 is 29. Speed mode 2 is 38 miles an hour. That is a good speed for the size of the scooter. I'm gonna lower the power down to 50% and see what I get now on all 3 speed modes. Speed mode 1 is very slow now at 7 miles an hour. 2 is topping out at 14, and speed mode 3 is 21 miles an hour. Now when you set it to 50% power, it only affects the speed. The power off the line is the same. I mean, I'm still spinning that front wheel 2-3 feet on speed mode 3. The battery safe mode is a pretty cool feature. And what this does, it changes the torque. Got 3 levels: max save, normal save, no save. Yeah, got some nice pop off the line. I like that. All right, let's do normal save. About half as much tire spin as the first. And now max save. And there's no spin off the line with that one. This is kind of cool. This is the skid mark from the no safe setting. This is the one on the normal mode. And then there's nothing here next to it. And that was on the max save mode. And this test was done with the start mode set to the highest level, the one that I did before. All right, so max gear set, just like e-bikes where you can change the assist level, here you can change how many speed modes you want, either 3 or 5. I want to see what the top speed of each of the 5 levels are if you change the max gear set up to 5. That should distribute the power out more because now you have 5 levels versus 3. Level 1 is 7, 2 is 16, 3 is 24, 4 is 34, and 5 is 38. Some other cool stuff that I liked about this, and I want to just walk through the scooter top to bottom. These handlebars fold in by just pulling this out, fold down next to the stem. Then you got a quick release here, which once folded down would just lock into place. And carrying this around isn't too bad for a Dualtron scooter. It only weighs 71 pounds and can carry a rider up to 270 pounds. The grips look like your standard cheap grips that I see in a lot of e-bikes and scooters, but they're actually pretty nice feeling. I like the control pad, it's just a nicer rubber. On the right side is another headlight button. And this turns off the light at the very bottom. You got some pretty nice brake levers, and these are dual drum brakes, which I actually prefer because they're just super easy to tighten or loosen. All you have to do is just twist that. Moving down the stem, you have a charge port with a nice rubber flap, and I like the position of this port. A lot of the times they're underneath the deck, and they're just kind of a pain to get to, and charging this up takes about 4 to 5 hours. This is one of their newer designs for the front part of the scooter. Where in the rear they have their standard swing arm spring suspension, and I felt the suspension was a little bit rough. For a $1,400 scooter, it's pretty good for smaller vibrations. Now if I come off a curb, let's see what it does. Ooh, loud and kind of clunky, but fairly smooth. I have noticed that when I do hit bigger bumps, the front suspension does tend to make a little bit of noise. It's not my favorite for a scooter in this price range. I felt worse and I have felt better. I do like that it's light enough to pop up on a curb fairly easy. This is a 6-inch curb, and yeah, let's see if I can bunny hop it. Oh, a little bit. Got a few millimeters of air. And then moving down, there's 9-inch air-filled tires. They're a pretty thick tire, which is about 2.5 inches wide. And I'm glad they did that because typically with a 9-inch tire, the stability isn't the best. But because they're so wide, it actually wasn't that bad. And then moving further down, you have 2 450-watt motors, which gives you a ton of power for hill climbing. Ooh, it is a chilly morning. I don't think it's above freezing. And I say that because cold temperatures do affect power. But I think I'm still gonna have enough power to hit this 26% grade. I've got a full charge on the scooter, and I'm gonna start without any momentum at the very bottom. But yeah, got snow on the trail. That's delightful. Speed mode 3, here we go. Got some tire spin. And all right, here's the steepest parts. Kicking butt so far. 16, holding at 16. Down to 14, 13, and over the top. You could definitely find something steeper. I mean, they have this rated for a 36% grade, so that's 10% steeper than that. Now, as far as range, that's gonna depend on the size of the battery. As I mentioned before, this has a 25 amp hour battery, and they've rated this up to 37 miles. When I took it on a range test, my average speed was about 28 miles per hour, so I was going pretty fast, and I was riding in cooler weather around 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And my app recorded 21.13 miles with 1,370 feet of elevation gain. I think 37 is actually doable if you rode in warmer weather and obviously on flatter terrain. I want to talk about a few things that I didn't like and also that I liked about the scooter. And the first thing I didn't like is it's nice to have the ability to decrease to put these handlebars down, but that is one thing that just can come loose. You can tighten that up. There's just a screw that you have to unloosen, so it's an easy fix, but just something else that you do have to worry about tightening. I like the look of the deck. It's pretty cool because it's curved, but at my normal stance, my rear foot is hitting the fin about 2 inches. So I wish that was a little bit longer for how fast this goes. I do like the fin though. I like the fin angle, and there's a hole here and up top. Just a cool looking design. And you can use this to haul it around when it's unfolded. And that's pretty much it. I think I've covered everything the Popular has to offer. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the review, and if you have any questions, comments, things like that, if anything was unclear, hit me up in the comments and I will do my best to get back to you and answer anything that you have. Also, be sure to check the description for the latest coupon codes, things like that. I'll keep that updated throughout the year. And as always, thanks for watching and take care.